have resolved to strengthen existing cooperation between the two countries in the areas of defense, education, energy, and the fight against corruption. President Muhammadu Buhari and the Turkish leader Tayyip Recep Erdogan announced this after leading their country's delegation to high-level talks on the critical areas of interest. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
For President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Palace in Ankara, the capital of the Turkish Republic, as he paid a reciprocal visit to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The mission here is to consolidate and deepen the highly beneficial relations between Nigeria and Turkey over the years, especially since the last visit by the Turkish leader to Nigeria early 2016. Leading a high-powered Nigerian delegation comprising ministers of defense, interior, trade and investment, education and foreign affairs, President Buhari and Recep Erdogan of Turkey held discussions behind closed doors in areas of economic cooperation, security, education and energy. At a joint media briefing shortly after, the two leaders described their high-level engagements as fruitful and reassuring.
There's a lot of potentialities in terms of investment. Already much is being done on the educational and the health sectors. This will be strengthened, and I assure Mr. President that Nigeria is prepared to accept the Turkish business people to come and exploit more of Nigeria's potentialities. We, on our side, we know we have the resources. We are training very hard the people that will handle and exploit those resources.
The insufficient refinery capacity in Nigeria is causing problems in fuel oil and electricity. We can develop joint projects in this area where Turkey has a significant level of experience. I would like to invite our business people to invest in the construction of new refineries and in the strengthening of energy infrastructure in Nigeria. 2016, our bilateral trade volume was at $682 million, and in the first 8 months of 2017, this figure exceeded $779 million. And inshallah, this year we will be over the $1,145 million in 2015 this year.
The two leaders also noted that terrorism is a common enemy to both countries. While the Buhari administration is determined to put Boko Haram permanently in the history books, Turkey is also battling Fethullah, which claimed over 250 lives in the country last year. They believe that working together by the two countries will go a long way in containing the security challenge.
As far as Boko Haram is concerned, we know we'll be able to contain them, and we have proved that we can do it.
I would like to express that there is no difference between Boko Haram or FETÖ or Daesh. Regardless of its name, its claim, its purpose, all of these organizations are herds of murderers that feed off on the blood of the innocent people. In their fight against terrorism, we always stand with our Nigerian friends.
President Muhammadu Buhari was earlier granted the honor of laying a wreath at the tomb of the Turkish founding father, Mustafa Ataturk. The president, who signed a memorial register shortly after, described Ataturk as a great patriot, visionary and a courageous leader who shaped modern Turkey. From Ankara, Turkey, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
2 years into the adoption of the 2030 Development Agenda, Nigeria has continued to gain traction and mileage in the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. Latest effort in this direction is the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Nigerian Bar Association and the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs in Abuja. Claire Adelabu Abdurazak has the details.
Congratulations. I think we can clap on this one. That is the MOU document expected to provide access to efficient justice delivery to indigent Nigerians. It was signed between the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs and the Nigeria Bar Association. SDGs Goal 16 commits nations to promotion of peace, justice, inclusion, and sustainable development. At the partnership consummation ceremony in Abuja, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs says the MOU will further drive realization of the 2030 development agenda.
This memorandum of understanding is set to execute some laudable projects for programs both in legal and judicial sector. For example, the pro bono services shall be encouraged and significantly promoted under this collaboration.
The national president of the Nigerian Bar Association said current challenges to good governance and sustainable development compelled the initiative.
We intend between now and in the foreseeable future to tackle these challenges, to promote the rule of law and access to justice, to listen to voices and concerns of the poor and vulnerable.
And what is being done today is an effort to work on a multi-layered, multi-clustered coordination mechanism to actually foster implementation of SDG in Nigeria.
The initiative is expected to strengthen collaborations between Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs and the Nigeria Bar Associations to ensure that the SDGs target of leaving no one behind is achieved. In Abuja, Claire Adelabu Abdul Razak, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated former Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, for winning the 2017 World Food Prize laureate. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, indicates that the President, in a video message, says he is proud of the feat achieved by this resilient, diligent and hardworking notable figure. The statement further notes that Dr. Adesina, President of the African Development Bank, will be presented the $250,000 prize and laureate sculpture at a ceremony in the United States, one for driving change in African agriculture over 25 years now. President Buhari says he was not surprised by the developments because Dr. Adesina's contributions has improved food security for millions across the continent. Nigeria can only get the best from gemstones and the solid mineral sector if local industries are set up in the country. This was the major observation at the 2017 edition of the African Gemstones and Jewelry Exhibition and Seminar holding in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
Congratulations. I think we can clap on this one.
That is the MOU document expected to provide access to efficient justice delivery to indigent Nigerians. It was signed between the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs and the Nigeria Bar Association. SDGs Goal 16 commits nations to promotion of peace, justice, inclusion, and sustainable development. At the partnership consummation ceremony in Abuja, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs says the MOU will further drive realization of the 2030 development agenda.
This memorandum of understanding is set to execute some laudable projects for programs both in legal and judicial sector. For example, the pro bono services shall be encouraged and significantly promoted under this collaboration.
The national president of the Nigerian Bar Association said current challenges to good governance and sustainable development compelled the initiative.
We intend between now and in the foreseeable future to tackle these challenges, to promote the rule of law and access to justice, to listen to voices and concerns of the poor and vulnerable.
And what is being done today is an effort to work on a multi-layered, multi-clustered coordination mechanism to actually foster implementation of SDG in Nigeria.
The initiative is expected to strengthen collaborations between Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs and the Nigeria Bar Associations to ensure that the SDGs target of leaving no one behind is achieved. In Abuja, Claire Adelabu Abdul Razak, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed optimism on a smooth 2018 budgetary process. This came in an executive communication by the President to the Senate on the 2018 to 2020 medium-term expenditure framework and the fiscal strategy paper. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adigunloyi reports.
Let me use this opportunity to express my gratitude for the enduring partnership between the legislative and executive arms of government. Pursuant to provisions of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007, the preparation towards the submission of the 2018 budget to the National Assembly is progressing well.
President Muhammadu Buhari also, in an executive communication, requested the speedy passage into law of the bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. In a matter of urgent public importance, Senator representing Cross River Central, John Eno, called attention to a potentially dangerous security situation occurring in his senatorial district.
When there were disagreements about the particular location of some pillars separating the two countries. Sometime last week, I lost, people, Nigerians from the Damari 2 community because of the complete breakdown of peace and security.
Thank you, Senator General, for bringing that up. I think, as we all know, it's a responsibility to ensure that adequate security is provided for our people along the borders. I hope I would like to our two chairmen of police and also national security should take this up.
The lawmakers also considered the report of the Committee on Power, Steel Development and Metallurgy on the Hydroelectricity Power Producing Areas Development Commission Amendment Bill 2017. The committee is chaired by Senator representing Abia South, Eninaya Abaribe.
The passage of the bill will streamline the channel of remitting revenue by the generating companies to the Commission and effectively blocking leakage of government revenue.
The communities have been suffering that are hosting the dam. They have been suffering for quite a long time. So the passage of this bill will facilitate the implementation of HYPADEC bill.
Also considered clause by clause during the Committee of the Whole was the report of the Committee on Culture and Tourism on the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation Act Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2017, which was passed for third reading. The report of the Joint Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters and Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes on the Proceeds of Crimes Bill 2017 was also debated. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adigunloyi, NTA News.
The House of Representatives is to investigate the non-payment of $14 billion to the federal government by oil companies as penalties for gas flaring. It also resolved to investigate the 701 billion naira payment assurance facility and 194 billion naira interest payment approved by the Federal Executive Council for gas supply and electricity generation in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo has the details.
Let me use this opportunity to express my gratitude for the enduring partnership between the legislative and executive arms of government. Pursuant to provisions of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007, the preparation towards the submission of the 2018 budget to the National Assembly is progressing.
Nigeria is said to be making progress in polio eradication and routine immunization. However, the country is set to embark on an extensive and comprehensive routine immunization in the coming weeks. This concern on public health dominated talks at the National Economic Council meeting in Abuja. Correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The exercise is to begin with measles vaccination ahead of the 2017-2018 dry season, the period normally associated with outbreaks of measles. Edo State Governor briefed the press on arrangements as outlined by the Primary Health Development Agency.
That from the 26th to 31st of October through to the 7th of November, vaccinations will occur in the northwestern part of the country. The northeastern states, vaccinations will occur from the 30th of November through to the 7th of December, while the north central and FCT vaccinations will occur from the 1st of February through to the 13th of February 2018. The phase 2 of the exercise will take place in the 17 southern states from the 8th of March to the 20th of March next year.
The fallout of this meeting is not the monkeypox, it is yellow fever. And these are measles and polio. And these are things that we should remove from our space. And once we allow such a rumor to go side by side with the national effort to stamp out these things, it will spend them for us.
The council particularly applauded His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Abubakar Saad III, for his commitment to eradication of polio in the country. The Nigeria Industrial Policy Competitiveness Advisory Council sought the council's intervention in the resolution of 8 key areas to fast-track industrialization.
The council has identified as key elements collaboration between the council, private sector, and the states in particular. And this, we made a presentation to the National Economic Council, and we got very good feedback on the way forward. Some of the prayers were immediately answered, which was for a committee set up with members of the National Economic Council and the private sector.
The subcommittee would be made up of governors of Kwara, Kaduna, Adamawa, Ogun, Abia, and Edo states, representing the 6 geopolitical zones. There was presentation by the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency on the general outlook of flooding in the country.
The federal government has this year released 1.6 billion naira for flood relief and more for other states is being expected. The states that benefited from the current the 1.6 billion are Benue, Kebbi, Ekiti, Kogi, Edo, Ondo, Sokoto, Niger, and Enugu.
Unto all aggrieved people to be law-abiding.
The Director General used the opportunity to appeal to workers of the agency on protests for better welfare to be patient and follow due process in their demands. In the State House, Jide Onifate, NTA News.
And here in Borno, the state government has debunked rumor being circulated that there was an ongoing vaccination presently being carried out in schools, which caused panic among parents who began withdrawing their children from schools. Here is the report. Addressing newsmen on the issue, State Commissioner for Education Musa Inokubo pointed out that government did not authorize any organization to conduct vaccination exercise in any of the schools in Borno. He therefore called on parents to disregard rumor currently being circulated by some mischief makers who derive pleasure in spreading information that is baseless and unfounded.
Therefore, if there is any problem, it should be reported to us that there is a problem in so-so school, so that we take up the responsibility of seeing how we will control the situation. So as far as we are concerned, these are mere rumors that are going about. It's not, it has not been reported to us that there is any problem in any school.
The Commissioner further stressed that state governments had not closed down any of the schools due to the rumor that created panic and assured parents of government's adequate protection of their children. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Alhaji Mustafa Alao said designated areas have been provided for the ongoing oral polio vaccination across Maiduguri, Jere, Dikwa, Kunduga, and Mungunu. Executive Secretary, Borno State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Sulemide said that the agency coordinates all immunization activities and urged residents to remain calm. Some community leaders at the event reassured the public on government's genuine intentions, adding that it will not allow anything harmful to affect residents. Joining me now in our studios is the State's Executive Director, Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Sulemele. Sir, welcome on the program.
Thank you very much.
There was panic in some areas yesterday, areas of Maiduguri, especially around primary schools. Tell us what actually happened.
Thank you very much. Yesterday, Maiduguri woke up to a rather unusual situation where we have panic rush to school by parents to pick their wards out of the school based on some purported social media posts and narratives that children were being given monkeypox, children were given cowpox, children were being immunized on the head, on the abdomen, and a lot of other different narratives. The unfortunate thing is people believed that and acted on that. And immediately after that, the Borno State Ministry of Education took a proactive measure to shut down some schools so that the confusion is not going to escalate into a mob action around the schools. And then a lot of activities were done. It is very important to note also that there is no any immunization campaign going on around that time, having just finished the polio campaign 2 days earlier. And the polio campaign that has just finished is not an injectable campaign. It's an oral campaign that has been done in the country for several years, and we have never had an issue with that.
All right, apart from the polio vaccination or immunization that was just concluded some few days ago, is there any ongoing vaccination or immunization exercise in any part of the state, being that we've been faced with some health emergencies in the recent past?
At the moment, no, but there are plans to repeat the oral cholera vaccination that was done some weeks ago, and this is only in some selected areas where the risk is very high. And again, even this campaign that is forthcoming is not an injectable campaign, it's still an oral campaign. But what is of concern is the planning that is going on now for the measles campaign that is going to take place late November, 31st November to be precise. And that is certainly an injectable campaign. It has taken place several times in the past. And then we are working with all the stakeholders to see that that activity is not disrupted because of such rumors.
Now, you said the rumor emanated from the social media. Doesn't the agency embark on enlightenment campaigns before the commencement of such programs in order to avoid this kind of situation?
Certainly, as you are aware, the social media narrative has been going on in this country for the past 3 to 4 weeks on monkeypox, on cowpox, on a lot of different narratives related to vaccination or deliberately injecting children. So what Borno State Agency did was to take a proactive measure even before the last campaign, because we have a strong grassroots network of journalists, traditional and religious leaders, and that is how we are able to forestall any interruption to the campaign. But this campaign, we learned that it was disrupted in some states because of the same rumor.
Okay, what other measure has agency taken to avoid a recurrence of such, what we experienced yesterday, because there was panic everywhere?
So this is a lesson that is a lesson similar to the one we learned during the last Ebola scare and the saltwater bath kind of a thing. So a lot of work has to take place underground to allay the fears of people on that one. The unfortunate thing is that people sometimes believe this kind of spurious messages that is being shared.
Thank you, Dr. Sulemede, the Executive Director, State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, speaking on the panic that we experienced yesterday on the streets of Maiduguri over a rumored vaccination exercise. Moving on now, Isa Hamamiso, a 7th senator, has been arraigned before the FCT High Court. I've just been signaled that that's the much we can take on today's edition of Panorama. We're going to join ORCA for a live broadcast on a campaign rally. Thank you for watching and do have a pleasant time.